Knightdale and Wendell are two towns located in eastern Wake County. Both towns are known for their small town, welcoming community feel, and their convenient locations just 20 minutes from downtown Raleigh. These towns are some of the smallest in the Triangle, but they're in an area of high future growth, and there is so much to love about both of them. Knightdale Station Park is practically the town hall of Knightdale. Everything that happens in the town happens here. I mean, at least everything important that happens. This is where concerts and events happen. They have a pavilion, an amphitheater, a splash pad for kids, and so much more. The park was designed to flow into First Avenue, which is the historic district of town, and there is one business who's taken advantage of their location right in front of the park. Oak City Brewery is known as the town hangout. They have a huge outdoor space that opens onto Knightdale Station Park. This park-like area is fenced in so guests can bring games or bring their kids and their tricycles if they want. It's really family friendly, or their dog, and just hang out and enjoy the vibe. So the park is totally buzzing with activity. There's got to be 1 million people here, but we couldn't get a single one to talk to us about living in Knightdale, and almost everybody that we stopped didn't actually live here. We found one person who had just moved here last year, but they didn't want to talk either. So tell me where y'all are from.
Well, we came from Denton, Texas. I love the mountains, and I also love, kind of being close to the beach too as well.
Yeah.
And when I was in Texas too, the summers are just brutal.
So what do you think? What is it different than you expected? Better, worse?
I just enjoy the summers here. I'm a native Texan, so I'm kind of used to the 100-degree weather, but this 80-degree, low 90s is amazing. And it's beautiful here. There's mountains and just all kinds of scenery and flowers. Because I was excited about wildflowers, and then I come here and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that.
They're like giants.
I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wendell is truly the smallest town in the Triangle. Okay, there's also Zebulon, but that messes up my even numbers that I need for comparison videos. If you want me to compare Zebulon to something, tell me what town I should compare it to in the comments. But still, Wendell is really small, but what it lacks in size, it makes up for in charm. Downtown Wendell is truly charming, and it's got some pretty cool shops as well. Even if you don't live in Wendell or plan to move there, you should definitely visit the Wendell General Store for a peek into small town Southern culture. We spent a little while in the general store trying to get some interviews for the video, and I mean to tell you, we were treated like family.
2 grandsons lives here, granddaughter lives out in...
I've lived here for 30 years, and I knew the growth was going to come, over the next 15 to 20 years, and there was no stopping it. And everything that you have now, from the coffee shop, 41 North Coffee, to the new Christian bookstore that's opening up next door to us, to Carter's Bakery down the street, and the few restaurants we have all come, and the Bearded Bee around the corner have all come just in the past few years.
Okay.
And Wendell is just booming. I love growth. Growth is what makes the world go round.
Where do we absolutely have to go?
Aubrey's and Petey's Grill. Best hamburgers and hot dogs you'll ever eat.
I just want to say that the foodie scene in downtown Wendell is pretty amazing. I mean, downtown is literally one very short street, and if you know anything about North Carolina, usually in these old southern towns, you'll find a diner, maybe a steak place or a Chinese place, and they might have good food, but I think the restaurants in Wendell are just a little more creative and modern than I've seen in other small towns in North Carolina, and I have seen a bunch. Farmers and Merchants is in the historic Farmers and Merchants Bank building. It's a bourbon and craft beer bar serving classic southern food with a modern twist. And Suggy Bears is an ice cream place that serves locally sourced ice cream and also affogatos, which I had no idea what that was, but it's some kind of combination of a coffee drink topped with ice cream. And look at this, you just cannot go wrong with that combination. There's also a bakery, a chocolate place, Asian food, all kinds of cool restaurants in downtown Wendell. Knightdale has one of the best event calendars I've seen while making these videos. They seem to know intuitively that people need times to gather to really be a cohesive community. Every fall they have Fall on First Fest. This happens on Halloween, and there are food trucks and music and bounce houses and hay rides. So much fun, but you don't have to wait until fall to enjoy community life in Knightdale. May through October, the town hosts a concert every second Friday of the month, and every third Thursday they have a food truck event. People come from all over to see Lake Myra Christmas Lights Show. Now, this is not some breathtaking display like the Chinese Lantern Festival. You've got to put on your small town Chevy Chase Christmas hat and remember it's quaint and country. They decorate the whole downtown as well as have a whole bunch of holiday themed displays.
We always do this Friday night Christmas event in December. Everybody kept saying, God, I wish we had a candy store. I wish we had a candy store. So for a fundraiser for the Chamber of Commerce, I would come down here and I would get one of our empty buildings. And I would put a candy store in here for 30 days. And everything in it would be donated. The rent, the water, the electricity, the building, the supplies, everything in it would be donated. The time, and 100% of the profits went back to the consignment people that sold their goods, and we would get a small percentage, and we gave it to the local Chamber of Commerce.
Knightdale Shopping. I am just going to say this. Fuquay has doubled the population of Knightdale, and they got to go all the way to Holly Springs to get a Target. Knightdale has an amazing amount of shopping for a tiny little town. Now, I think being right off Highway 540 makes it possible for the retailers to do enough business in Knightdale to stay open, but the fact remains that Knightdale is the second smallest town in the Triangle, and they have all the shopping you need, plus a small town feel. Look at this. Target, TJ Maxx, Ross, Kirkland's, plus Five Guys. So if you want the charm of a small town, but you don't want to give up the conveniences of a larger one, Knightdale might be the spot for you. Wendell Falls is the gem of Wendell, and I think most people recognize that this neighborhood is responsible for bringing back the life to the town of Wendell. Like many of these small North Carolina towns, Wendell had all but disappeared
because our town was dried up. There was nothing down here. You had a couple of businesses and that was it. It had been dried up for close to 15 years.
Many of the buildings downtown were empty, and right around the time Wendell Falls started building this massive planned community, downtown Wendell started to flourish again. Wendell Falls is a Newland community. Newland is a developer that develops award-winning master planned communities throughout the country. There are 3 Newland communities in North Carolina. 2 of them are right here in the Triangle, and Wendell Falls, of course, is here in Wendell. People who have lived in a Newland community usually prefer to live in another one if that's possible and they have to move. They're designed to be live, work, and play communities, and they all have planned activities on site with an activities director managing the events. Wendell Falls has 10 miles of trails and multiple parks within the neighborhood, resort-style amenities like this amazing saltwater pool, and there is always something going on at Wendell Falls. Knightdale is home to 16,000 people. While Knightdale is normally a commuting location for people working in RTP or Raleigh, there has been recent growth in commercial development. Eastgate 540 is a new industrial park expected to be completed this summer with 980,000 square feet of space across 6 buildings, and it's almost fully leased already. The median home price in Knightdale is $269,000 and has seen a 15% increase since last year. For that price, you could get a home like this one in Knightdale. This 3-bedroom, 3-bath single-family home is 1,800 square feet. It sits on 1/3 of an acre lot and even has a walk-up attic. Wendell is home to 7,300 people. It's primarily a commuter town, and the median home price in Wendell is $263,000. For that price, you can get a home like this one. This home is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and 1,450 square feet, and it sits on 1.3 acres with raspberry and blueberry bushes. If you liked this video, you should watch this video comparing the towns Holly Springs and Cary.
Yeah.
45, 50
Yeah,
minutes away.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll...
Look up Whirligig Park.
I've
It's,
heard of that.
it's a real
actually.
photo op.